Joining us, Markowski Investments President and host of Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski, and managing partner of the New York-based accounting firm Bailog and Associates, Mark Bailog. Chris, I'll start with you this time. You know, people that run out of money, budgeting's one thing, but talk about how to deal with it. Should they draw from their 401ks if they really reach that point?
Well, one of the things that they allow now is they allow people to take out a 401k loan up to $100,000. They raised it from $50,000. The penalty as well has been waived, the 10% to take it out. But even if you do, if you sell it, you're still going to have to pay the capital gains up until that point in time. You want to kind of do that. That's a last resort type of thing. You might want to be making cuts elsewhere. We always try to encourage our clients. You want to have at least 3-4 months put away as far as cash is concerned at a minimum. Again, I know it's tough right now, and going through these times, you're going through that money very, very quickly, especially when it's uncertain when you're going to go back to work. But I would leave taking money out of your 401k as a last resort. Yeah,
Mark, what are you observing from the folks that you know?
I'm observing, you know, people are very strapped for cash right now. And what I'm suggesting to my clientele and everybody else is you should make a budget, a list of priorities from your biggest monthly expenses to your smallest. And, you know, I would start with, you know, your rent, your rent or your mortgage, and call your mortgage company or your landlord. A lot of the mortgage companies are willing to be very forgivable and let you waive this month's payment and put it on the back end later. You know, another big item is your food costs. Okay, let's say, for example, your weekly budget for food is $100. You may want to evaluate that and buy generic store brands, buy in bulk if possible, and you know, if you could cut back there, and then you got some utility bills also. If you have cable, for example, and you have premium channels, you may want to cut those premium channels down, etc. And from a holistic point of view, my main suggestion is do your housekeeping right now. It's a good chance to go over all your monthly bills. A lot of people are not working right now, and you can review your insurance policies, increase your deductibles, for example, on your homeowner's insurance, your automobile, etc., and fine comb everything.
Yeah, and you know something I find, Chris, I find things that'll pop up. I didn't know I was still subscribing to that. I got to get rid of that. There are little things like that. What about those entities that have no heart whatsoever, the credit card companies, Chris? Any way to deal with those?
Hey, you'd be surprised. I'm actually even checking with a lot of banks out there, too. They're actually doing some things and working with people when it comes to credit cards. They are. They want to keep their clients, too. You know, again, these are unsecured loans. The last thing in the world they want is their clients to have to go into bankruptcy, and then all of these loans are going to end up being discharged. So, yes, they're going to be trying to work with people at this point in time because they don't want to take the hit on this, maybe over a short-term situation where you might be able to help somebody out over the next couple months. There are government programs out. He said he was right, absolutely right when it comes to mortgages. Many banks are willing to work with you. You have to go to the U.S. Treasury's website, go to the SBA website. There's a lot of various different sources out there that you can see what you can work with your family.
Mark, what further advice do you have for people?
It's great. You got to realize all these financial institutions, at the end of the day, they're in the business of lending and borrowing money, and they don't want to own your business or your home. So right now, unlike 2008, these banks are very well capitalized, and they're willing to work or negotiate with their borrowers at this point. So I definitely concur with everything.
And what about you, Chris? What are you telling folks now?
Again, you know, you're going to have to hunker down for a period of time. I know you get a lot of commercials out there. You mentioned last hour talking about the hashtags and when is this going to all open up. Right. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Okay, you're going to obviously have to make some sacrifices over the short term. We all are at this point in time, but I do think May is going to be a good month.
I sure hope so. Let's talk about how that happens, Mark. Don't we have to see like this trend with the virus? Level off, start to go down, because the virus is going to determine when we get back to work, right?
Absolutely. That's really the main concern right now. And back to the SBA loans that are being distributed right now, once you apply and you get your money, how do you even take your money hypothetically on April 20th, and in New York State, for example, if you're a non-essential business, you can't even work right now.
Right. So you get the money for the business, but you can't run your business.
That's correct. So there's going to have to be some concessions here when this is all said and done. And again, they're going to have to go back to the coffers to keep putting money into the system and making sure the businesses as well as the individuals are taken care of.
All right. Mark Balog and Chris Markowski, gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us.